Oh man, it is so much easier to make videos when you have good news like this to discuss. Looks like Respawn has really saved this game again, and we are back, but we've also got to talk about some people that are outraged about movement in Apex and where the future of it seems to be going. Also, if you watched my last video, you'll know we talked about something that fans were really upset about, and Respawn has already fixed it, so big shout out, big W Respawn. Let's dive into all things ALGS news related. If you guys want to stay up to date, of course, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's dive into it. First thing I wanted to make mention of is in yesterday's video, I told you guys that a lot of fans have been getting so sick and tired, and I agree with them, to be honest with you, that Respawn keep adding in these LTM takeovers where you don't feel like you really get to play the same Apex and choose the new mode. You are forced to get rid of Battle Royale and forced to play the new version of Battle Royale with this twist, right? And whatever, I just don't really like this idea. And the reason is because fans have made it very clear in the past that this is annoying, it's aggravating, and we would probably play the game more if you would just leave it alone and allow the normal Battle Royale to stay, rather than removing it and forcing us to play this new limited time mode. Well, they actually listened to these complaints because we just made a video on it literally 2 days ago, and here we are now. Respawn just posted yesterday that they've implemented a change into Apex to shift the Hunt LTM takeover mode from a takeover to a LTM now. So it's actually an LTM, and it's no longer taking over Battle Royale. We appreciate the feedback on this one. Now get out there and ensnare your enemies. And even though I'm excited, by the way, thank you to Soul Unbound for tagging me in that over on Twitter. I do think that to some degree they probably listened to some of the feedback we had to say, but I also think that they probably just had enough statistics to back it up to say, yeah, this is hurting our game. We're probably going to make less sales on this or less player base. Let's just actually listen to the fans now, because there's a lot of things we complain about that they don't listen to, and I think there might not be statistics to back up all these complaints that we make. So it may be a scenario of less listening and changing it because you asked us to, and more so of, yeah, we see what you're saying, and because we see it, we'll change it. Now, I gotta say, it might be hard to see because, believe it or not, Respawn really seems to have saved this game. No joke, because since the launch of Season 20, take a look at these numbers, baby. It really seems like Apex is back. Respawn has seriously saved this game, and I knew that from the way Season 20 sounded, it really was going to happen, and it looks like it did. Season 20 is an incredibly consistent season on the player charts. Holy crap. Take a look at these Steam charts. This is not even PlayStation. This is not even Xbox. We are at a 24-hour peak of 422,000 players, only about 200,000 from the all-time peak, which was about 13 months ago. And what I really like about this is, don't just look at the numbers, look at the graph. You can tell that every single day it looks the same. People are getting off, I guess, when it's time to go to bed and get ready for work the next day, and every single day it's spiking up to about the same number. The same amount of people are getting on every single night. The same amount of people seem to be playing for the same amount of time. Because if you take a look at the moment of February 14th to where we are now, not only does the graph seem to spike up to the same amount, but it seems to be almost the exact same shape and size for all of them. So it seems like Apex is becoming more of a daily habit, routine grind for all these players that are playing, and it's converted a lot of people back to not just coming for the events, not just coming because there's something going on that week, not just for an LTM, but it seems like people are actually here to stay. And I personally believe that this is because of ranked. Say what you want about whatever, but I know good and well people are not coming back this much because of the Hunt LTM takeover that's happening. And people don't grind consistently on a schedule like that based upon a non-ranked mode. I'm telling you, this right here is possibly, more than likely, because of the rank changes that they made. What's crazy is if you take a look back before Season 20 had launched, look at the difference. Not only did it spike up a lot, but it seems like people were not even in a routine. Like, it was just all over the place. I will say I've spoken to a lot of you guys on stream, and a lot of you seem to say that you did not play Apex for the last couple of months, but now you're back and you've been playing a lot more. So this is great news to see. Overall, it looks like Apex is really, quote, saved from the misery it was in within the last year, and I'm glad to see it. But now we've got to talk about some issues with the movement in Apex, and this is a big problem. So I don't know why I hadn't thought about it like this, but it got over 657 upvotes on Reddit, so it seems like a lot of you guys seem to actually agree that movement is becoming an issue in this game, and it's not because it's just creating a skill gap that makes it harder to get better, which I think is a good thing. According to Alec on Reddit, this is a hot take, but Super Glide should either either be consistent or removed from the game. There should be no such thing of you, quote, have a chance to pull off a movement tech rather than just simply you're good enough to pull off this movement tech, right? It is kind of a weird thing. And keep in mind, I'm not against tech being difficult. Make the super glide window 50 milliseconds, make it 10 milliseconds. I don't care, but remove this chance factor of whoops, you inputted a jump and crouch nearly perfectly after each other, but you did it at the end of the frame, not at the start. Silly you don't get it. Muscle memory can be trained, but you cannot synchronize your hand-eye coordination to 60 FPS. And speaking of, having to lower your FPS for a bigger chance of attack working is BS. He is absolutely right about this. If you guys did not know, I'll give you a little bit of a tip. In order to hit super glides more efficiently, the lower FPS you go, the more easy it is. Now, the tip I was going to give you is, well, where is that sweet spot? So if you're playing on PC and normally you like to have your settings cranked up to about 240 FPS. Now, it is really hard, if not almost impossible, to hit a super glide on 240 FPS on controller. Now, mouse and keyboard is a different story. Much more responsive. 240 FPS is not that bad. I would actually recommend you playing on it. But if you're playing on controller, it's most likely not going to happen. So the sweet spot, according to pro players, is 139 FPS. Why 139? Well, 144 FPS seems to have this is where it gets weird. There's apparently some kind of FPS issue with 144 when it comes to B hopping. So not only is super glide based upon this, but B hopping kind of is as well. And so having to change your FPS in order to have a better chance of this movement tech working, it is BS, and Alec is totally right. He also said that Titanfall 2 players had already fixed it, by the way. It wasn't even an official fix that made this work. It was literally a macro made by the speedrun community to fix movement tech that also randomized the chance of working because of inputs occurring at a random part of the frame. And I've been saying this, the R5 community is amazing to have, and it really upsets me that the official game of Respawn, or official studio of Respawn, don't bring a lot of the great features that these community ran studios are doing, or this guy at home on the internet who knows how to code and mod stuff or whatever is making this stuff on R5 Reloaded. He's doing a great job. Why are we not getting this stuff from the official studio? I don't know, but I have not seen this argument for movement out in probably quite some time, and I'm kind of surprised because I think this guy makes a lot of fair points, and I'm interested to see if you guys actually agree. Now, lastly, I need to get some feedback for some other things I'm working on. I have been hearing that a lot of you are hard stuck plat for a long time now. A lot of you guys have been commenting that you've been hard stuck plat. You don't like this new rank system. It's not good anymore. You used to be diamond. You used to be whatever. And this is the conversation that we had, and we were worried about, is this old rank system going to cause problems? Because too many people thought they were masters, they were diamond, they were that good of a player. Now you get to a better system where it's harder to rank up. If you play a lot of rank, should you just consistently be ranking up? Does being hard stuck mean that the rank that you have is just a skill level you're at? But what are your thoughts down below? Working on a project and really need to see what you guys think about the actual ranked system itself. Personally, I think it's better, and I do think that people have been giving the false idea that they're better than what they actually are, and that's the problem that we're dealing with now. But interested to see what you have to say about all the topics down in the comment section below. From Apex being saved, the new changes going on, and then the movement hot takes as well. If you want to stay up to date with all things Apex Legends news related, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and until the next time, we'll see you all later, Gators.
Oh, Dad.